Hello and welcome to Sai versus AI, the football prediction channel where I am taking on 6 of the best AI platforms to see who can predict football results the better. If you've been following the channel, you'll know that I've kicked off with a World Cup special, so I'm going to be predicting 104 matches during this FIFA World Cup to see who can come out on top of the leaderboard when all 104 matches have been played. So far, we've gone through the first 12 matches. So I'm just doing a quick results video so we can see where we're at after the first round of games, which have been through groups A to F. So that consisted of 12 matches. So without further ado, we'll move on to the first match of those 12s. That was Mexico versus South Africa. If we just have a quick look on the prediction screen, so you can see there, I predicted a 2-0 win for Mexico. So did Claude and so did Meta. The actual outcome of the game was 2-0. So that was a good start. We're off to a flyer. ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, and Copilot, they predicted 2-1. So while they got the correct results only, myself, Claude, and Meta got a full 5 points for getting the match result and correct score bang on the head. The other 3 platforms, or the 4 platforms, will get 1 point for just predicting the correct result, correct match outcome only. Just have a recap of the scoring system. I'll just pop it on the screen now. So as I was saying, so you get 5 points for an exact score. You get 3 points for getting the correct match outcome and goal difference. For example, if I predicted Mexico to win that game against South Africa 4-2, I would get 3 points for that based on the fact that I got the outcome right, a Mexico win, and secondly, I got the goal difference right. There was a 2-0 goal difference in the score, which is obviously the match finished 2-0, so that's how that works. Correct result only, so if you predicted 2-1, for example, then you would just get 1 point for that. You've got the outcome correct, that it was a Mexico win, and if you get nothing right, then you get a big fat 0. But everybody scored at least 1 point in that match. Myself, Claude, and Meta got 5. ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, and Copilot scored 1 point on that particular match. So it was a good start for the human against the machines there. I was so confident on that Mexico result being 2-0, I actually popped down to my local bookies and put an Ayrton Senna on it. So odds at 4-1. So nice little return there, 50 notes. So it wasn't too bad. But then I got a bit cocky then in the later game. I thought, here we go, I'm on a roll. So I predicted Canada to beat Bosnia and Herzegovina 2-1, but that didn't quite happen. So £40 profit ain't too bad. Right, so moving on then. Next game is South Africa versus the Czechs. So that I predicted 1-1. So did the other 6 AI platforms. We all predicted 1-1. We all got it wrong, so we all scored a big fat 0. The match outcome was actually 2-1 to South Korea. Scored a late goal. It wasn't a bad match. Then the next match was Canada versus Bosnia-Herzegovina. I predicted 2-1. And again, all the platforms predicted a 2-1 result to Canada. Canada did have about 87 shots, but were wasteful in the end, so it stayed 1-1 after Bosnia had scored first. I thought once Canada got that equaliser, they might push on and get the winner, but they didn't. So, yeah, all the platforms got 0 points on that one, including myself. Moving on to the next one was one of the other host nations, the USA. So we had a few different predictions on this one. I predicted 2-0. ChatGPT went 2-0. Gemini went 2-0. Claude went 2-0. Grok 2-0. Copilot went 2-1. And Meta went 1-0. So we all got the match outcome right. We all thought USA would win, and they did win handsomely, 4-1. They blew them away in that first half, the USA. Absolute excellent performance by them. I know Paraguay are not the strongest, but yeah, it was a good performance by the US. So all of us, all the platforms there, scored 1 point only on that game. Next one was Qatar versus the Swiss. Again, all the platforms were expecting the Swiss to romp home, including myself. I went for 3-0 to Switzerland. Egg on face. ChatGPT went 2-0. Gemini 2-0. Claude went 2-0. Grok went 2-0. And Copilot and Meta, like myself, thought the Swiss would romp home at 3-0. The Swiss wasted a host of chances. And then in the end, Qatar scored with a brilliant bullet header right towards the end of the game, leaving no time for the Swiss really to react. So, again, all the platforms scored a big fat 0, with the outcome being a draw and everybody going for a win. Next one, this was a brilliant game. This was a really good game to watch. Brazil versus Morocco. Really impressed with the way Morocco played, especially in that first half. Could have been 2 or 3 up before they actually scored. Yeah, they played really well. High press, really good with the ball, didn't give it away. Good movement. Yeah, deservedly took the lead. But Brazil always got that attacking flair, haven't they? Vinny Jr., he's an ugly sod, but he scored a belter. Yeah, so that ended up finishing 1-1. All the platforms predicted a Brazil win. I was the most conservative with a 1-0 win to Brazil. But it finished 1-1. All the rest had Brazil 2-1 or 3-1. So again, we all scored zilcho on that. The outcome was a draw. Everyone went for a Brazil win. And that didn't happen. Moving on, we had Haiti versus Scotland. Everybody has got at least a point on this one. Everybody predicted a Scotland win. I predicted 2-1. So, in fact, some of us got 3 points on this one because we got the correct goal difference in the game. So I predicted 2-1 to Scotland. So I got the outcome and goal difference right. So did ChatGPT. So did Grok. The others went 2-0 to Scotland. So they just get 1 point for that. Everyone thought Scotland would win, and they did. Super John McGinn. Wasn't his finest strike, but they all count. Moving on, we had Australia versus Turkey. I predicted this as a 0-0 draw. I thought it would be quite a tight game. I always feel Australia are always quite solid enough, but struggle for goals. But when I woke up at early Sunday morning, I discovered that Australia had won 2-0, which really surprised me. But fair play to them. All the platforms, apart from me, had Australia to lose, apart from Grok, who went for a draw as well, but they went 1-1 instead of my one that went 0-0. So the rest went 2-1 to Turkey. So everybody scored 0 on that game. Yeah, we're not doing very well, are we? Everyone scored 0 on that game. With Turkey losing that, I don't think anyone's seen that really. No one really thought that they'd probably win that. But they, Australia would win that, but they did. So fair play to them. Just moving on, we've got one of the most one-sided games of football. You're probably going to see it was Germany versus Curacao. Obvious golfing class there. Although fair play to Curacao, they did cause a bit of a shock. I think they poked the bear a little bit when they equalised. But fair play to them to even get a goal. But then Germany, their passing and movement was just absolutely outstanding. But again, how strong are Curacao? I guess we'll find out when they play someone maybe not as strong as Germany. But we'll see how they get on. But 7-1, yeah, it was a romping, wasn't it? In terms of the outcomes there, myself, Gemini, Claude, Grok, Copilot, and Meta all went 4-0 to Germany. 7-1. ChatGPT was a bit more conservative, went 3-0. We all get 1 point for that one. Moving on to the next one, Netherlands versus Japan, a game that I was looking forward to watching. I've got Japan down as a bit of a dark horse for this tournament. Excellent game, finished Desmond 2-2. I had predicted a Japan win because that's how confident I was that they would be a real tough opponent for the Netherlands. It was a bit of a topsy-turvy game. Netherlands scored first, Japan equalised, Netherlands went in front, Japan equalised. And I think with this one, Gemini and Co-Pilots got maximum points there of the correct score. They both went for Desmond Tutu. I went for a Japan win. Didn't happen. ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, and Meta all went 2-1 Netherlands. So Co-Pilot and Gemini get the full complement of points there of 5. I got 0. And so did the rest of the platforms. Right, moving on. Ivory Coast versus Ecuador. This was a belter of a game to watch. It was 0-0 almost till right to the end, but it was end to end. It was like watching a basketball match. The crossbar got rattled, I think, at least 4 or 5 times between the sets of teams. Some big, powerful lads on the field there. That's Singo at the back for Ivory Coast. He was making me laugh. He ended up setting up the goal for Ahmad of Man United right at the death. With this one, I went for a draw. I thought it was going to be a draw. It almost was. I went 2-2. ChatGPT went 1-1. Gemini went 1-1. Claude, he went 2-1. And he was the only person to get a point by getting the... well, he'll get 3 points for that, actually, because he got the goal difference right. So we got the resultant goal difference right. So Claude got 3 points for that. Everybody else got 0 because we all went for a draw. And then this one shocked me a little bit. Sweden 5-1. I did not expect that from the Swedes. Although they've got 2 top forwards up there in Isaac and Gyökeres. They don't generally score 5 goals in a game of football, Sweden. So that one really shocked me. But they did get off to a good start. First goal, they saw the first 7 or 8 minutes. Absolute belter from outside the box. He caught it sweet on that volley. Yeah. So once they got that to settle down and they started to play, and they ran away with it, really. And just before making this video, I'm hearing that the Tunisia manager might be getting a sack or might have got the sack. So it's worse than the Premier League, that is. 1 game out the door. I mean, I don't know what they're expecting them to do. They're not the world's strongest footballing nation, Tunisia. You could get a bad result every now and then, and that's one bad result. Sacking the manager after 1 game in the World Cup's a little bit harsh. Right, so that's a roundup of the results for game week 1, groups A to F. There will be a part 2 once groups G to L have been completed. These have kicked off today now. Spain have kicked that off. Amazing result for the Green Cape, the Cape Verde, got a 0-0 draw. But I'll go into that a bit more on the next video. I think the goalkeeper, from what I saw, has had an absolute blinder. And very wasteful by Spain. They've had about 647 chances, but couldn't score. It's fair play to Cape Verde. That's put a bit of a spanner in the works in that group. Right, just moving on. I've got a league table to show when I find it. Right then, so that concludes game week 1 for groups A to F. So let's have a look at the leaderboard. Let's have a look at the current standings, see how we've all been getting on, man against machine. So as it stands, Claude is top of the table, 12 points from the 12 matches it's predicted so far. I'm second on 11 points from the 12 games played so far. Joint third and fourth is Gemini and Co-Pilot. They're both on 10 points, and they're in that order due to the fact Gemini's got the closest to the results, where there's been a tie on points. So Co-Pilot is in 4th place there on 10. In 5th is Meta AI on 9. Grok is 6th place on 7 points, and propping up the table is ChatGPT, also on 7, but Grok having a slightly better, or getting a bit closer to the actual scores than ChatGPT have. Right, so let's look at the leaderboard. Next video will be out after group games G to L have been completed, and that'll be another results roundup. If you have watched to this point, thank you very much, much appreciated. If you can, give it a like. If you want to subscribe to follow this journey of predicting all 104 games and see how we end up at the end, then subscribe to the channel, stick your notifications on, then you'll get notified when the next video is out. But as I say, the next one will be out for a part 2 of this for groups G through to L, and then we'll see how we're doing then. But so far, I'm sitting pretty in second. Claude isn't exactly running away with it, but he is sitting top of the table on 12 points. Bit of work to do for Grok and GPT of the chat, but there's plenty of games left to turn it around, and I could end up bottom in the next few days. Who knows? But that's I guess what we'll find out, and why you might be watching. Right. Big thanks, and I'll see you all soon. Have a good day.